teacher in the school district stepped up to the microphone. Listen to this.
School board, I quit. I quit your policies, I quit your trainings, and I quit being a cog in a machine that tells me to push highly politicized agendas on our most vulnerable constituents, the children. I will find employment elsewhere. I encourage all parents and staff in this county to flood the private schools.
They've lost some 1,300 students out of Loudoun the last year, and now they're losing an excellent teacher. Laura Morris had taught in the Loudoun School District for 5 years. She made it clear that as a Christian believer and educator, she could no longer follow the highly politicized agendas being pushed on the students, including using student-chosen pronouns that neglect their biological sex. All right, let's bring in America's Constitution coach, Victory News contributor Rick Green. Rick, they even sent out memos to the teachers for them to rat on other teachers that disagreed with the policy. Is this America?
Man, you can hear it in that teacher's voice, the pain. Look, I don't know her story, but obviously she loves teaching. You can tell from her emotion and the fact that she's having to step down from what God called her to do because of these outlandish policies. I hope that's a signal to tons of other parents and teachers. It's time to get out of this broken system that is run by leftists that don't care about your kids. They typically only care about the teacher unions and the paychecks. The only thing they care about your kids is being able to brainwash them. And I would encourage parents all over the country, you better be looking really close at your own local school district, because you may think it's not happening in your area. A lot of times when you live in a rural area, you think, hey, our schools are still good. I'm telling you, they've infiltrated virtually every public school in the country. And so I say hats off to these parents. As you said, Greg, they made them stand outside, sit in their cars, all these ridiculous, waiting around. But thank you to all of these parents who are willing to speak their mind, let their voice be heard on these very important issues, and let this school district know they're not going to take it lying down.
Okay, I had my truth meter out a while ago when Nancy Pelosi and all those stories about it's broken because it wasn't registering anything at all, apparently. Yeah. The Republicans, the 19 that crossed the line to pass the $1 trillion something, and now complaining that they're coming right back with over $3 trillion. I think they lost their argument, didn't they, when they crossed the lines of doing that? And weren't those primarily the McConnell Republicans, the Bush Republicans, and not for Trump? Your thought?
Yeah, it's definitely the Republicans in D.C. that love being in D.C. and they just want to be have a seat at the table and be a part of big government. And look, I agree with you. I think huge mistake when they voted for this $1 trillion supposed infrastructure package. Look, about maybe $280 billion of it is somewhat infrastructure, and all of the rest is left-wing causes and policies. And we knew they were going to turn right around and come back with now $3.5 trillion more dollars that is entirely left-wing agenda. Honestly, I've lost count at about $8 billion on what they have already spent in 2021 on things that the federal government has no business spending money on in the first place. That system is completely broken, and these Republicans that are helping the system still limp along and helping the Democrat Party shove through this massive radical transfer of wealth in our country and radical change in who we are as a nation. Shame on them. They should be the loyal opposition. And it tells you right there, we need more primaries all across America. Absolutely. You're going to have to send new people to Washington, D.C., and we're going to have to change the way Washington, D.C. works.
Joe Biden said one thing that was very truthful when he ran for president. He said the battle for the soul of America is at stake. And he was absolutely right with that. Rick, I'll be back to you in just a moment.